Congratulations and welcome to Activity Tracker. In this video, what we're going to do is just give you a quick little overview of what you need to do when you get started. All right, first things first, you definitely want to read through this. It's only going to take a couple of seconds, so relax. But this is basically a nice little cheat sheet for the entire site. It's going to talk to you about two very important things. Number one is beta testing and what that means. All right, as you can see here, congratulations, you've been invited to beta test this patent pending program. So let's just go ahead and walk you through it. All right, now let me tell you, the first thing that you need to realize about this is that we're allowing everyone to get on this site when it's brand spanking new. I'm talking about you guys are the pioneers, the ones that are really going to be the legends and the people that got to say, hey, I was in on that thing first. All right, so what you need to know though is we're constantly online eliminating bugs. We're constantly online fixing problems. But those problems and these ideas that we're going to be getting to really fine tune this website are going to be coming from you. So I want to talk a little bit about caching out and what we just basically call clearing your cache. Bugs will remain if you don't constantly temporarily delete your internet files and clear out your cache and do what we call hard refreshes. This page tells you all about that, and all you got to do here is anytime you see a bug, you just click there and it'll throw out a little email to us. Okay, so that just kind of talks to you a little bit about beta testing, and then of course down here this again just talks about how to report bugs just by clicking here. There's a really great program that you can get just how I'm doing video screenshots and going over everything that we're seeing. You actually have the opportunity to do the same thing and get a program called Jing. It's actually free. We don't make a dime off of that. We're just basically doing that to make sure that you can communicate to us anything that you find, ideas, good, bad, errors, whatever. So let's go ahead and talk about getting started. Now the first thing you want to do is once you've reviewed that information is you want to jump right into it. And what we want to do is figure out what it is that you want to track. Now there's a couple different tabs here. We've got tabs for pretty much all the views that have been made. Business type views are ones that people in your same business type have done, friends if you've got any yet, and then recommended views. Typically, I recommend going to recommended views if someone referred you in with a promo code. Obviously, no one referred me into it, but that's where those views would show up. All right, so you can basically just click on one, and what we'll do is we'll choose a little example here, and we'll go ahead and roll with a home page example. All right, and all you need to do is basically select the view that you want. This kind of simulates what's on the home screen of the website. All right, and again, you can see what it tracks, and it just kind of gives you some numbers. Now you can make these, and we'll talk about that in in some advanced trainings. Some of the next ones we'll do is we'll be talking about view wizards. But all you need to do is check it out. This is kind of fun. It allows you to review it. You can click on the field and see what it's doing. Calls divided by appointments. And again, this entire website is drag and drop. It's very, very simple. All right, so again, we'll talk about that later on. But what you want to do is you just want to drop in and add a view. Now, I've already had that view, home page example 4. And then once you add a view, all you have to do is click on it, and ta-da, there you are. All right, now once it's already set up, all you got to do is every time you make a phone call, let's say that you're doing it for this tracks obviously how many calls you make, how many appointments you make, and how many sales, and even how much commission. So now you can really discipline yourself and self-employ yourself. And what you can do is, let's say you make 5 phone calls. This we call the real-time graph. All right, and then out of the 5 phone calls, you set 2 appointments and you make 1 sale. Well, now it takes you 5 phone calls to basically, for every 5 phone calls you make about 2 appointments and you get about 1 sale. Now this is where you might enter in your commission. Let's say you make $200 per sale. Well, the minute you throw that in, it refreshes everything, adds it all up. So it tells you if you made $200 per sale, if that's your average, you can see right here, every phone call you make is approximately worth $40 based on your closing percentages. Now, obviously, as you increment that, it's going to go down, and you can see that these numbers change. Now, what's really cool is you can go ahead and see extended time frames. I'll show you one of my views. I believe this one's a homepage percentage. You can really see some detailed graphs. Now, the default is today. If you want to see additional information, like let's say maybe the past week, there you go. You can see how many phone calls were made this past week, average commissions, and it'll really start to give you a spread out, a really fine-tuned average, so about what you make per phone call. How valuable would that be to know that every time you pick up the phone, you're making $5.22 an hour? Some people don't make $10 an hour. You make 2 phone calls an hour, you're already beating them. All right. The custom entry box allows you to drop in big numbers. So let's say you were away from the computer and you said, okay, well, I made about, I was on the road and I made about 10 phone calls. So you just add that in and it'll add it up to 16. So again, when you're on the road, you can go ahead and come back, or if you're out and about making phone calls, if you just check out your phone, see how many calls you made, you can always update your stats when you get back. One of the coolest things about this is you can actually have friends, and once you make friends, you can see their activity. This is one of my friends here. Let's just say I want to look at one of theirs. Well, I can just click on it and I could see what their activity is. So real time for coaching purposes, you'll be able to see exactly what people in your organization do on a minute-to-minute basis. You can even see advanced graphs, and you can do all kinds of different charts. You can see columns, you can see graphs, you can see plots. Very valuable stuff to figure out what time of the day are you connecting with phone calls if you really want to make some advanced graphs there. Again, so you can add friends, and if you at any time ever want to share your existing information, you can choose those options with them. But again, when you're looking at theirs, there's no incrementing because you're just basically doing your own stuff. All right, we're going to wrap up here, but I do want to just kind of share with you a little bit about the share view. Once you start to have friends, this is where you can control what information you want to share with them. Do you want to just share your view and allow them to see that? If you say share view, it will show up in their view wizard so that they can actually take a look at the same view that you're using. So that way, if you come up with something creative and you want to share it with a couple of your friends, you just check the box and it will show up in their back office automatically. If you want to share your activity, you actually want them to see what it is you're doing so they can check up on your numbers, and you could really be some great workout partners, keep each other accountable. That's a great thing to do, and you can just check that box. Or let's say you don't want them to see what you're up to, but you definitely do want to see, you definitely want to give them the view, and you want to request that when they accept it, that you're actually going to be able to see their activity. All right, so that's basically what that is. So all you got to do is save it out, and that will show up. They'll get a little email confirmation about that, and it'll show up in their wizard. And when they accept it, you'll actually get that. So again, we'll talk a little bit more about inviting others and some of the other features, but just to get you going, this should give you a pretty solid example. I will say you can kind of see a clock down here. When you click the clock, that actually times, you can kind of see partial of it, but there is a timer there in case you want to time how much time you spend on a phone call. And again, you can always graph that information again down the road. Now we'll talk more about that in some advanced sections. All right, but for now, that's a quick snapshot of what Activity Tracker is all about. You know, adding friends, tracking your activity, and checking up on each other to really keep yourself accountable and take your business or whatever it is that you do to the next level. All right, again, we encourage you to continue to go back to the tutorials and watch as many videos as you can until you really get a great feel for this. All right, hope you're enjoying yourself. And again, if you have anything that you need to do, you need to catch up with us, feel free to email us. You can follow us on Twitter. You can check us out on MySpace, Facebook, whatever. But definitely report anything, any ideas that you get or any bugs that you find right away, and make sure you're clearing your cache and refreshing your browser so you're always getting the newest bug-free version of Activity Tracker. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed yourself, and we'll see you on the next video.